We are in the digital age. We are in this new age of globalization, profoundly interconnected by the bits, the zeros and ones that flow across the planet in unimaginable speed and volume now, carrying the data and the information that infuses our lives in every way, both seen and unseen. We live on digital media. Our economy functions on digital platforms. Artificial intelligence systems increasingly penetrate every aspect of our lives and our economies. Well, shaping the digital age will be crucial. As I have been emphasizing repeatedly, technological breakthroughs give us more power and productivity. But whether it is power and productivity for the good and problem solving, or power and productivity for the ill, for conflict and for war, is a persistent and repeated question throughout history. Technological advances have raised living standards, and they have also raised our capacity for destruction. We must make choices about how our technologies are used and how our technologies are governed so that they are used in responsible ways. And we know that the digital age is an age in which our new technologies of computation and storage and transmission and artificial intelligence can solve many, many problems and can help us to achieve sustainable development, but can also be militarized, can lead us to shorter fuses on the path to war, can make our governments and our militaries even more prone to go to conflict because the warning times are even diminished and the fears of others with surprise attacks or cyber warfare or wars in space through digital technologies become ever more present. I want to urge, therefore, that you, young people who are absolute citizens of the digital age, who have lived with digital devices from your earliest moments and who will understand and can master these technologies, harness the digital age for sustainable development. And what is clear is that if properly used, the digital technologies are really our most important instrument for achieving the goals that we have set. With the digital technologies, we really can end poverty. We really can decarbonize the energy system. We really can ensure universal access to education and to healthcare. And you, young people, are going to be the ones that will figure out how to use our digital technologies and our digital platforms for the common good. I'd like us to recall, if only briefly, the 6 transformations that I have emphasized as being at the core of sustainable development. These are the major investment pathways over the next quarter century that are needed to transform our societies. Remember, they are education for every person, you and every other young person on the planet, expressed as SDG 4, to build the knowledge and the skills for sustainable development. They are health for all, expressed especially as SDG 3, calling specifically in Target 3.8 of the Sustainable Development Goals for universal health coverage. They are the energy transformation, expressed in SDG 7, calling for clean and modern energy services for all, and in SDG 13 for climate action to head off the disasters that are possible from human-induced climate change. They are the investments in smart land use, and especially in high productivity agriculture, notably in SDG 2, that aims to end hunger, in part through greater agricultural productivity. And also, I would mention SDG 6 to ensure water and sanitation for all, because agriculture and water are so intrinsically intertwined. They include the investments for urban sustainability, notably in SDG 11 for sustainable settlements, and mainly cities, because that's where the vast majority of the world will live, and also for SDG 12 for the circular economy that aims to reduce pollutants and the toxics and the poisons that are threatening us in our urban areas and indeed in all parts of the world's ecosystems. And the last of these transformations is about digital technology itself to ensure universal access to these digital services. Now, what I want to emphasize to you young people who will be the architects of the digital age, think about how these digital technologies can be used to achieve each of these 6 major transformations. Clearly, the digital technologies can be used for education. Clearly, because we're doing it. We're online. We have connected classrooms together. We are able to use digital technologies to see the world together, to visit the world together, to harness data together, to analyze the great challenges of sustainable development. The digital technologies can obviously be used for public health and healthcare in many, many ways. Community health workers can be empowered with digital technologies so that even individuals trained with a high school diploma, for example, in a poor rural area can save lives and perform many vital functions of the health system, supported by a smartphone or supported by an artificial intelligence system residing on their phone, or connecting the community health worker with a local clinic or a local hospital to save lives in an emergency. Telemedicine, another digital technology, makes it possible to take an X-ray in one place and to read it halfway around the world instantly by a radiologist who is on call for places that don't have a radiologist. Or it may be even better than that, because the computers themselves, the smart AI systems, will be doing the reading of X-rays soon enough with the precision of great experts at reading medical imaging. Digital technologies will facilitate tremendously, indeed in many fundamental ways, enable the transformation to green, sustainable energy systems. When we connect renewable energy, intermittent renewable energy, sunshine, wind power, geothermal energy, hydroelectric power into a single grid, that grid has to be smart in the sense that it has to be able to adapt very, very quickly to changing flows of energy coming from changing wind patterns or cloudiness that obscures the sun and so forth in these intermittent energy sources. We're going to need smart grids, and smart grids enabled by smart digital systems, and those are already being designed and put into operation. Digital technologies obviously will support sustainable land use. Remote sensing will enable us to understand changing biodiversity in a location. Remote sensing will enable us to understand the dynamics of soil moisture in a farm or in a forest area. Remote sensing and satellite data enable us to see if there is illegal logging taking place, deforestation in the center of a rainforest that would not be known or found on the ground, but can be identified in the air by satellite almost instantaneously, and where smart artificial intelligence systems can take the satellite imagery and identify the places of illegal logging or illegal fishing or other kinds of environmental destruction. And smart digital systems will enable smart agriculture. Precision agriculture, where very specific measured quantities of inputs of fertilizer, for example, are applied in precise doses at precise locations on a farm, enabled by very sophisticated readings of the soil nutrients, sometimes again by satellite, will empower us to save on resources, to reduce the nitrogen and phosphorus fluxes, which can be a kind of pollution, a kind of planetary boundary of chemical pollutants. And precision agriculture will enable us to get higher yields at lower inputs through very smart systems and all kinds of remote sensing on the farm, in the forest, in the other areas of agricultural production. Of course, digital platforms are already pervasive in our cities to support smooth transport, to make public transport systems work more effectively, in the future to enable autonomous vehicles to work safely in cities, to enable people to cut down on their commuting time by partly working from home or working from their neighborhoods, to have improved safety and emergency response within urban areas. In other words, the digital platforms are pervasive for digital infrastructure. And as devices become smarter and smarter and lower cost, universal digital access, the sixth of these transformation platforms, comes more and more into reach. And we are quickly reaching the stage where even in remote rural areas of otherwise rather poor economies, a fruit seller will be operating with digital payments and digital systems to connect the local fruit stand with the suppliers, to keep the supply chain timely, to reduce wastage, to cut down on storage costs. In other words, to improve lives and livelihoods even in the poorest areas of the world. Well, I emphasize that each age has been defined by its leading technologies, and the digital age is defined by the pervasive breakthroughs in digital technologies. You will be the leaders of and shapers of those digital technologies, and if harnessed for the good, they can play an enormously positive role in enabling us to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals.